Hi, this is Melanie. So I'm just going to talk through a mixed media page, which you'll see has lots of layers and lots of different processes. So first of all, I'm using just normal watercolour paint in one colour of blue and just doing a blue wash across. You'll see there are two number 2s there. I will explain what they're about in a bit. So I'm using Brushos with water spray. 3 colours, violet, cobalt blue and turquoise, and then using good old kitchen paper to dab it across. A bit more water and a bit more dabbing. Next I'm using some 13 Arts Amethyst Colour Glow. It's watercolour paint powder. I'm trying to pick out the purple and pink colour that's going to be in the photographs. So I'm putting it over the bottom, but I also need to use some white spray ink just to dull the colour down for in some parts, and more water just to make sure that I'm getting the right shade that I'm looking for. So those number 2s, I've got a 2020 cut file from Confessions of a Paper Addict, which is on their Etsy store, and I've used Vicky Bouton moulding paste with a Bramble Fox star stencil just to go over the number 2s there, and I'm using metallic white acrylic paint, which is pearlized, just to make those 2s stand out. And you can see with the black cut file they really do stand out. So by the side of the photograph in the centre at the top, I've used the Bramble Fox star stencil again with some Distress Oxide blueprint sketch, just to put tiny stars at the side. And for the dies, I'm using Echo Park Paper Company designer dies. So these were designed to go with the Disney papers. I'm using Memories and Family. So you can see the Memories there is on a midnight blue or a navy cardstock, and the Family is on a nice metallic piece of purple, which again will bring out the castle colour when you see. So I'm going to use my just some All and Create stencils now to make some extra stars. So I'm using the moulding paste again. That stencil's number 49. Just a couple of stars at either side of the little stars. And I'm going to let them dry. And then at the bottom, I'm going to use an All and Create stencil number 13. This has got tiny spots that look a bit like fireworks. So again, I'm just going to put those randomly around the 2020 central part. So with mixed media, some people use heat tools to dry things in between stages, but I actually like to leave things to dry naturally. So there's often a break. My pages often take a little while to complete. I'm going to put that cut file down just to check. You can see I've used 2 photographs behind the zeros. There we go. Central photo is backed on silver card just to make it stand out, and it says Happy Holidays, so it's almost like a title really. And I've got some sequins there. They're in 4 different colours. There's silver, turquoise, dark purple and violet. I've just mixed them all together in a bag. They were from separate bags, but they're all the sort of lovely shades that coordinate well with this, and I wanted to have a few of these sequins sort of scattered about. So I'm just having a bit of a mess about here while it's drying. Now I'm just going to collect them up, keep them safe. I've got a small person in my house who likes these sparkly things, so I have to watch out. Okay, so now I'm just using a Nuvo embellishment mousse in silver to add some metallic dimension to the stars and the fireworks scatters. And now it's really important that I put a lot of double-sided tape on the photographs, because when you've got a mixed media layout and some of the parts of it are three-dimensional, you really need to apply a lot of adhesive to make sure things like cut files and photographs stick securely. So I'm using a combination here of double-sided tape behind the photographs, but also I'm going to use some Tombow glue using the fine end on the number 2s as well, just to make sure it's really firmly secured. Okay, there we go. So I've tried to film this a bit closer so you can see those stars on those number 2s. And also you can see the contrast between the black cut file and then the pearlized white paint. So even when you do this, it's really still quite difficult to make sure you get the painting completely accurately. So once I've stuck it down securely, I will be using the paint just to touch up the edges. Make sure they're nice and clean cut. And quite funny because I know some people will like to use a paint palette, but I often use a little bit of paint on my mat. You have to be quite careful though that you don't put your hand in it when you're doing other things. So you can see I'm just touching up the edges now, just to make sure they're really clean cut so it really stands out. You can see those little stars now from the Bramble Fox. So I've used the little stars in the number 2s, but I've also used them with ink and a sponge, just sort of cascading out from the top photograph as well. It's a really useful stencil. There we go. Now a few more sequins. I always find it's one of the disadvantages of mixed media is that I often have sticky fingers because I quite like being quite messy, and so then when you have to stick things down it's quite challenging. So I don't always want to stick on the paper but would rather stick to your fingers. So I'm just adhering now, having used the Xyron sticker maker. These dies are now sticky, so we've got memories at the bottom and we've also got the word family. Hopefully you can see the colour there. So I'll just be able to, now I've put those on, I will now be able to find a few more spots for those sequins. And we're nearly finished. And this will be the final page of our 2019-2020 Christmas New Year holiday. So I'm quite pleased to have actually completed it, and it feels quite nice to have finished it with this page itself. So there we go.